in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, guys, welcome back to another Random Wednesday, or as she likes to say it, WAYWARD Wednesday. And today, we're going to be having a very special thing that some of you personally asked for.
See you after my new intro. Okay, guys, thank you.
And girls, we're not gender specific, we're not sexisms.
He's right, actually.
Yeah.
And he was asking me if my followers have a name.
Yeah.
And I don't think I want to do this, but maybe I'll just say, hi, hummies.
No,
you know?
no, that's weird. No, they should be the jesters.
No, I think we should go with hummies, you know, like from homies.
Comment down below.
And hummingbird, like you're the hummingbird.
Because it's like Jessie Gang, you're the jesters.
So comment down below which of the three you like more. Hummies?
Or the
peeps?
Or the jesters.
Anyway, today I have Monica here. Because
from Friends?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I got that joke.
In honor, if you can call it that, of the excruciating heat I'm experienced now with the heat wave we've been hit with, I thought what could be more fitting than today to talk about my hottest and most anticipated releases for July. I narrowed down to, I think, 13, even though my list is 30. You can check my July shelf on my Goodreads if you want to know the other books I'm looking forward to. And also, hot off the press, I have an announcement about a book that is in the making by my favorite author. And yes, he did pay me to say that. Do you want to know what that is? I have the author here. You can hear.
Okay, guys. My mom told me that a few of you guys like my idea for the Ronald McDonald book. So I made one. And I'm deciding to give you guys a sneak peek of the name and the title and the name of the first 2 chapters. The name of my book will be The Summoning. The first chapter will be called The Sleepover. The second chapter will be Bonds. So, look out.
When can they expect this release?
You can expect it in the time frame of 4 to 8 weeks. Back to you. Actually, no, I think I like this chair.
No, honey, I need to go back.
Okay. And
okay, so starting July 1st, we have A Gingerbread House by Catriona McPherson, and this looks delicious. It's somewhat of a retelling. From what I gather, we follow Ivy. Okay, she's this lonely person. Everything she craves in her whole entire life is love and a family. Does she have that? No. We get Kate, this mysterious, inviting, magnetic woman that comes into her life with great news. Ivy, I'm your long lost sister.
Sus.
Can't disagree with that. Things get a little more suspect when Kate invites Ivy to come visit her on her Scottish fairy tale cottage in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by no one. You know?
That makes sense.
So they
I want to go there.
So they can bond. Ivy, being the lonely person she is, she goes. But she never comes out. And guess what, guys? She won't be the last one. In a nutshell, that's A Gingerbread House coming up.
Wait, what? So wait.
Tomorrow.
She cooked her. Because I've read the book of like Hansel and Gretel.
Yes, it's a retelling of that. That's why it's called A Gingerbread House.
Yeah. July 05. This many and this many. July 05. July 5th. Just Married by Kirsten Modglin. Grace and Ryan have been married for 6 months and plan to go on their honeymoon for their 1-year anniversary. As money is tight, 6 months into their marriage, Ryan surprises her with this cabin in the woods he found and thought it'd be the perfect getaway for them. Grace is apprehensive as she isn't sure if she knows her husband that well.
Why did she marry him? I don't know.
But is ultimately thrilled. The first day is perfect until things are not starting with a note. No, the first day is perfect until things are not. Starting with a note on their doormat that says, "She's dead, you're next." Ryan starts gaslighting Grace, saying she's overreacting and they don't need to go to the cops. What does Grace do? Tell Ryan that she has known his secret for a while and will keep it forever. Next, someone cuts the phone lines and they're trapped here. Ryan plays dumb, but Grace is starting to panic. I mean, wouldn't you?
Like, hello?
Wait, does that mean Ryan's a killer?
It means that Grace isn't sure he isn't, so she shouldn't have gone to the cabin. But I have high hopes for this book. Next, on July 6th, we have the 22 Murders of Madison May coming out, and that's by Max Berry. I really enjoyed the 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Some of you might know as the 7.5 Deaths, but that's beyond the point. And this sounded a little bit like that. It talks about multi-dimensions, and
Sounds like my type of book.
I love you.
In every world.
That's what this strange man tells Madison May right before he kills her. Then, boom, boom, cuts the scene. We meet Felicity Staples, a reporter who doesn't really like reporting murder cases, but when she's assigned a Madison May case, she's really intrigued, so she goes like, why not? One day, she's heading to the subway and she sees a strange man that is like a dead ringer for the killer. What does she do? What every normal person does, just instead of calling the cops, chases after him.
She sees the killer, who she doesn't know if he's armed, chases him into, what was it, the woods?
Subway.
A subway.
And then, right as she starts chasing him, he disappears. She thinks nothing of it. She goes home and she wakes up the next day.
He went into interdimensional travel. That's my guess. Because he said, I love you in every world.
And then the next day, Felicity wakes up. Her cat is missing. No one remembers what happened to Madison May. And then she finds out that Madison May is actually alive. That is, she was alive until the same man killed her. Now she's like, her spidey senses are really tingling. If that's not weird enough, things get even more complicated when she finds out that she's not the only one looking for this mysterious man. So she sets off on a journey into interdimensional travel to figure out who this man is and if she can stop Madison Mays from being killed over and over again.
The Hunted by Rosnay. Stevie Erickson is looking for a fresh start. Losing her grandmother has turned her life upside down. When her boyfriend Jacob is offered a job on an island off the coast of Tanzania, she decides to go with him despite her reservations. They start their life in Tanzania, in a hostel after a scare. Stevie starts freaking out and think she is being watched. Soon they meet golden couple Leo and Tasman, who take a liking to them, and Stevie is freaking thrilled. Their friendship is put to the test when they all make to Key Island, as is Stevie and Jacob's relationship. Innocent flirting escalates. Secrets are revealed, exposing a killer in their midst. And they want Stevie.
So this sounds like a brilliant... So we basically follow 4 couples in this isolated island. And things go south from there. And Stevie, our main character, is, the apple of the killer's eyes. It sounded very interesting, and I'm up for a beach atmosphere, and I have high hopes for this book as well. Next, on July 8th, we have The Murder Box coming in by Olivia Kiernan. This is a fourth book in the Freaking Sheehan series. I haven't read that yet, any of her books, but this sounds amazing. Basically, we have Detective Frankie. She's a detective chief superintendent, so super high up. She has her team. It is her birthday. She gets to work, and there's this mysterious box. And she was like, "Oh, guys, you shouldn't have." And she opens it, and amazingly enough, it's a murder mystery game. Oh, even better. And she starts reading the rules so she can set it up because she's sure she can just beat it right away. She's very excited for it. Only, as she gets into the game contents, she realizes that the murder victim resembles to a T someone who's missing, a 22-year-old girl called Lydia. Okay, so she gets her team right on it. They start investigating Lydia's case, even, with a finer tooth comb. And not only that, as they roam the case files, they realize a pattern. There are many crimes throughout Dublin. They are reflected in this game. So the coin drops. Frankie realizes she's playing a murder mystery game with the killer. Then things take a little turn when they find out that Lydia is involved in a network of murder mystery players aficionados. At this point, it becomes clear that this game is twisted and Frankie needs to beat it. She is determined to find the killer. But what happens if she loses? Okay. Next, we have Cabin Fever, also coming out July 8th, and that's by Alex Dahl. In it, we have Christina, this therapist, and one of her clients, Leah, who also happened to be a published author. Okay, one day, Leah shows up to her session, and she has this weird proposition. Say, "Hey, girl, your office is lovely, but I would like to have a session in this cabin in the woods. Could you come?"
What's with all these books and cabins?
I think it's because it's summer.
It's just like, yeah, come to my cabin alone with me, even though you don't even know if I have a criminal history. Yeah, girl.
Exactly. But you know what? Christina says, maybe this is where I set my professional boundaries, and thanks, but no thanks. We can continue to have our sessions here, Leah. Leah says, "Oh, okay, la-di-da." And then, next session, Leah doesn't show up. Okay. Second session, Leah misses, and Christina's thinking, okay, this is a little weird. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm worried about Leah. So what does a normal person do? No, you're wrong. They don't call the cops and tell them to go to the cabin and find the girl that is missing.
They go to the cabin themselves.
When Christina gets to the cabin, she does not find Leah. What she finds instead is a manuscript on a table. Does she run and call the cops at that point?
She reads it.
Exactly. Oh,
Yes! Yeah!
only as she reads it, she finds out that the main character in the book is strangely familiar. Okay, next, I think we have a book that is on a lot of people's most anticipated releases for this year. It is Grady Hendrix, the Final Girl Support Group. In it, we follow Lynette, a final girl. And anyone who has watched slasher film, they are, usually the sole survivor of some pretty big murder spree. So her massacre took place 22 years ago, and you don't get to be a final girl without, carrying with you a lot of baggage.
Bye, guys.
To help her cope with her past, she finds this therapist-led support group for final girls. So there are 5 of them in total, and for 10 years, things are working. Until one day, a girl who never missed an appointment goes missing, and nobody can find her. And then it becomes clear that someone is targeting them. Will they find a killer before he gets all but one of them? July 13th is the day for you to mark on your calendar because the releases are like amazing. So next we have Such a Quiet Place by Megan Miranda. It takes place almost in this isolated setting. It's a cul-de-sac. It is very tight-knit community. Just picture a neighborhood with not that many houses, but everybody knows each other. You have street parties all the time. Everybody knows each other and you are a very close group. Until two of you are found dead and one of you is convicted as the one who murders them. Ruby is convicted of this crime even though she has claimed her innocence, and what convicted her was testimony from other residents. Her lawyers put up a fight, and a year and a half later, she gets her conviction overturned. So she is released because, truthfully, there wasn't enough evidence. Okay, Ruby is still pretty pissed that she spent a year and a half in jail because of these people. She believes that, revenge is a dish better served cold, so what does she do? She moves back into the neighborhood. Pot stirred, check. And she is living now with her former roommate, so basically back in her house. Soon after Ruby moves in, Harper starts receiving weird notes that makes her question the verity of everything that happened, but also question whether or not Ruby really is the killer. And that's Such a Quiet Place. Next, we have The Therapist by B.A. Paris. We have Alice and Leo. They were a couple and they finally took the plunge and decided to move in together. They get this house at this very exclusive gated community called The Circle. They're starting to make friends with the neighbors. Alice is living her best life until, there's always an until, right? Until she discovers the unsavory reason why previous owner Nina doesn't live there anymore. Alice is determined to figure out what happened to Nina. But things get even more sus when the neighbors refuse to talk about it. Are her neighbors keeping secrets? Is the killer steering to lose? Can she trust anyone? Seems like Alice's life is not as perfect as she thought. Next, we have The Housemaid by Sarah A. Denzel. Ruby has battled with addiction and just left rehab, ready for a fresh start. A young girl, as she is, she sees this post, Housemaid Wanted. Skills required, discretion, and the willingness to go the extra mile. The pay is off the charts. So she thinks, a lot of people don't like being housemaids, but I have nothing to lose. This is a perfect opportunity for me to focus on my recovery, cash in, and save a lot of money so I can start really living my best life. So Ruby interviews and gets her dream job. Amazing, right? But then things start to get complicated because she meets Alex, the son of the Howard family, the ultimate bad boy she can't resist. Then the housekeeper, Mrs. Huxley, follows her around everywhere she goes, so there's this uneasy feeling of eyes on her all the time. Not only that, this house is so big, it actually has an abandoned wing, the north wing, that is allegedly haunted. Okay. It's still a great job. The pay is still great, right? Yes. But then on her first day, lo and behold, she gets a present delivered to the house in this beautiful box. She brings to her room, she opens, and it's a dollhouse, an exact replica of the house. And in it, there's an exact replica of Ruby dead on the bottom of the stairs. Next, also on July 20th, we have For Our Own Good by Samantha Downing. I've never read a book by her, but I heard great things, and this sounds like my vibe. It's kind of like a dark academia. In it, we have Teddy Crutcher, Teacher of the Year at Belmont Academy, right? Like, he is the poster boy for that institution. Once he gets this award for Teacher of the Year, he tells everyone how proud his wife is. but nobody has really seen or heard from her in like a very long time. So Teddy, as you know, the company man, focused and driven to keep the academy's reputation by pushing the students to excellency, is very dismissive when one of the student's parents is murdered, and also decides to ignore and not give two shites about this other student who's looking too closely into his personal life. Teddy couldn't care about anything else. All he wants to do is to be left alone to do his own thing, no matter the cost. I think this is giving me a great, dark comedy academia vibe. I think it's going to be a fun, witty book, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, on the 20th, we have The Other Passenger by Louise Kendlish, and we have Jamie and Kit. They commute every day. They take the same ferry, and they sit on the same time. They started like chatting over and became friends outside of the ferry. One day, Jamie comes and he notices that Kit is not there. He thinks it's a bit weird because they had just met the night prior, but just keeps on his routine. Maybe, he's sick and not going to work. Only as the ferry reaches Jamie's destination, he gets off to be greeted by policemen that take them in for, interrogation. Apparently, another passenger on that ferry has told them that Jamie and Kit had a great row the night before. Jamie said, no, we're real friends. That never happened. You can ask his wife, Milia. She knows we're friends. Like, honestly, the witness is lying. Call Milia. She'll vouch for me. And basically, that's where the story starts. But Jamie is wondering, who is this other passenger and why are they lying? More importantly, what do they know? Last but not least, we have on July 22nd, The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. I'm really excited for this because you can count on atmosphere and character work whenever Lisa Jewell writes. And in this, we have, I'm assuming, 2 timelines within 2 years of each other. First, we meet Tallulah in 2017. She is this teen mom and living with her mom. Then on like a random summer night, she goes on a date and leaves her baby with her mom. Her mom wakes up the next day and realizes Tallulah never came home. She thinks that's very weird because it's not who Tallulah is. So she goes on a rampage and calls every friend she has, and all she gets back is that the last time anyone saw her was when she left them to go to this house party at the Dark Place, an abandoned house in the nearby woods. Flash forward to 2019, where we meet Sophie, whose boyfriend got a position as a head teacher in boarding school. On her way, I'm assuming to visit him, or after the visit, she is just walking around the woods near the boarding school, and she finds a tree, and on that tree there's a note nailed to it that says, "Dig here." Needless to say, the cops are called. A cold case certainly starts to get warmer, and Lisa Jewell is promising a lot of atmosphere and dark secrets, and I'm down for that. That's it, guys. So these are my most anticipated releases for July. Do you have any of these books on your anticipated list? Do any of these books interest you? Do you have another book I haven't mentioned that you want to comment down below? If you made it this far in honor of today's hellish temperatures, leave a devil emoji down below. And until next time, be the hummingbird. Mwah!